missing the part. So if we're talking about like a test, remember we'd have like the part of the questions we got right over the total or the whole number of questions on the test, and then that's going to be equal to the percent. So we're going to be missing like the part of the questions that we got correct. We're going to know how many total questions there are, and we're going to know what our percent is, but we're not going to know like the part that we got correct. Okay. So we're first going to start by using double number lines. There's two different methods I'm going to teach you today, and whichever you like best, you can use on the test. So it's completely up to you about what you prefer to do. My visual learners are probably going to like the double number line, and my more like number focused students are probably going to like the second method, but it's totally up to you. Okay. 10% of Miss Lakin's class has an A+. So that means 10% has an A+. Miss Lakin has 30 students in class, so that's going to be my total number of students. And this is my percent, right? So just notice how we're missing the part. We want to know how many students have an A+. So we can start off by drawing our double number line. We've got our percent and our students. 10%, we have an A, and we want to know what that answer is. Once we get to 10%, we'll know. Okay, 30 total students in the class. Remember, our total is always equal to 100%. Okay, because percent is always out of 100. So our total number is 100%. So 100% of the class is equal to 30 students. We need to know what 10% is. Okay, so we go from 100 to 10, dividing by 10, right? So we do the same thing on the top. Divide by 10. 10% would be equal to 3 students. Okay. All right, number 2. You're working on a test that says that you're 25% complete. There are 32 questions on the test, so that's the total number of questions. You completed 25%. We want to know how many questions is equal to that 25%. So again, let's just set up our double number line. We've got our percent and our questions. We are 25% complete. And we want to know how many questions that's equal to. We know that 100% of the test would be equal to 32 questions. Okay, many different ways we can go about this. So however you want to get from 100 to 25 is totally fine. I have students maybe go down to like 50%, which is half. So they take half of 32 to get 16. And then half that to get to 25. I have students who will probably want to get down to 10%. And that would be divided by 10, so that would be 3.2. Remember, you can use calculators on here, so it's okay if we get to decimals. That's okay. And then even having that to get 5% or doubling it to get 20%. However you want to like manipulate it, as long as eventually you get to that 25% right here, we're good. I kind of like getting to 50 and then getting to 25, or you could go straight from 100 to 25, dividing by 4. However your brain likes to break it down. Okay. Either way, this is going to be equal to 8 questions. Okay. Same idea here. 25% of 40 is what number? So 25% is what number? We don't know what 25% is, and we're trying to find it of 40. Remember, when we see that of, whatever comes after it is usually the total or the whole. We want to know 25% of 40. So we don't know what 25% is, but we know that 100% of the number is 40. So we've got our percent and our number. Yes, I know that's a hashtag sign, but it's also a number sign. So 25%, we don't know what that's equal to. But we do know that 100% of the number, the whole number, is 40. Okay, so again, however you want to get to 25, I would probably half it to 50 and then half it again to 25. But it's up to you however you want to go. You could also go straight there. It's totally up to you. So 50% would be 20. So 25% would be half of that, which would be 10. Okay, so that's our first method. The second method that we're going to use today is multiplication. So that word of not only means that what comes after it is like the whole or the total, but the word of, when it's in between two numbers, means multiply. So if I want to find 15% of 50, I just multiply 15% times 50. Now you can't multiply percents. Okay, so first we would have to make it a decimal. So 15%, if I'm looking at the number 15%, my decimal, think about like $15, that decimal would go here and we'd move it 2 places. So it'd be 0.15. So we take 0.15 times 50. And you can do that in your calculator. So take 0.15 times 50. And we would get 7.5. Okay. Same thing here. 60% of 120. So we've got to make 60% a decimal. Moving the decimal over so that it's 0.60 times 120. That word of, when it's a number of another number, we multiply. So 0.60 times 120 would give us an answer of 72. Okay. Family pays $45 each month for cable television. This is a lot less expensive than it actually is. Cable is usually like around $100+ a month, which is why so many families like go to like YouTube TV or just use streaming services and don't pay for cable television anymore. But so this is what happens. They increase the cost like after you've been using it for a while. So the family pays $45 each month. They're increasing the cost by 7%. First, we want to find out how many dollars is the increase. So we want to find out what is 7% of 45. So we want to find out 7% of 45. And that number of a number means multiply. Or you could use a double number line. Okay, 100% is equal to 45. We need to find out what 7% is. Okay, they're going to be ugly numbers because there's going to be decimals, but that's okay. If you like to set it up in a double number line, you can. I think it's easiest just to multiply. So in the number $7, our decimal would go here. We move it 2 to the left, always 2 times, not just to the front, 2 times. So it's 0.07 times 45 that we would do. So in our calculator, let's take 0.07 times 45. And that's equal to $3.15. So that's how much the cost is going to increase each month. Now we need to know what is the new monthly cost. Well, they were already paying $45, and now it's going to increase $3.15. So we would just add 45 plus $3.15. And we would get $48.15. Okay, so that's how we would find the part. You can choose to either use a double number line or you can multiply, whichever way your brain likes to do it better. On the test, there's not going to be like a certain question that's like you have to use a double number line or you have to multiply. It is completely up to you of which you like better.